Kids and cadets, welcome back to Tommy Time. Appreciate you coming out. Extremely busy day today. I ended up selling 3 units. I told the 3 customers if they had non-runners to bring them, so I ended up getting 3 non-runners. They all had machines that didn't run. What else? I also had a couple off the street repairs. Uh, Doing this Troy built with the ratty rat damage here. I think this was just borderline bad fuel. And then that Toro recycler. I went through this top to bottom and gonna charge the guy 70 bucks. New transmission cable, um, new air filter. I think I did an oil change. Yeah, new oil on this. So it needed some work. I took care of it. So let's get back to these 3. I kind of gave good trade-in value for it. I gave 40 in trade for this. It's a 2019. That's the model number of this Troy built. It's the 11 Alpha Bravo 1 Bravo Mike 723. It is a TB 110. So the deal with this thing, lady messaged me, said, I need a mower, and I got one that doesn't run. So she came out with her husband. I talked to the husband. She stayed in the truck. She said, she told him to pick one out. I says, well, I could try to fix this one. They didn't want to wait for a repair. They just wanted to grab one and go. So I gave, like I said, 40. I had one similar to this. They took another high wheeler. So pushing it here to the side, I notice this wheel here is tweaked. Something jammed in here, and the wheel's off center. So I got to take the wheel off and straighten this bracket out because it's cockeyed. No filter cover on this. What else on this? I don't even know if I looked underneath. Oh, blade doesn't look too bad. So maybe this is just a fuel issue. I'm going to rotate the blade to see if the blade's bent. I have a mark picked out. Blade is flat, but let's see if it's bent. Blade appears to be bent. So hopefully it's the blade and not the shaft. So what I'm going to do is just pull on this thing. Doesn't look terribly dirty. One of these was overfilled. I got to figure out which one it was. Let me put you back up on the stand. So like I said, last couple of looks for the day. I'm going to hydrate with a little orange crush. Sometimes I feel like crushing these turds, but I'm going to drink to that instead. Nothing like a little orange crush. Okay, let's check the oil. Deck's in good condition except for that cockeyed wheel. This will be a good seller. It appears it's overfilled. If you can see that, it's way up here. It should be down at that hole. Let me just pull on this. If nothing happens, I have a new can of nitro nearby. can see that front wheel there is not moving. Feels like it's got compression. Let me get nitro. This is just going to motivate it. This is highly flammable. I'll squirt some of this into the carburetor. So if it fires off, it means we have bad fuel or contaminated carburetor because it's burning what I'm spraying into it just temporarily. Okay, a little sputter and spit, so we know fuel is the deal with this one. So I'm going to back it up and get ready for the next victim. We have this fine beauty. So I gave 30 in trade. A couple guys come out. I told them to bring it, and they says, well, what do you give for it? I says 10, and I end up giving 30. They picked out a similar machine with the Pulsajet style, but it had high rear wheels, same engine as this yard machine here. So I think, what was I at? 130, I think, on the high wheeler. So they got it for 100 cash. So the reason I says 10, I kind of looked it over. I went to pull it over and it's hydrolocked. And I thought, well, what the hell? I'll still make the deal go through. And he tried to squeeze me for 40 for trade-in. I says, no, I'm going above and beyond. I'm not sure what's wrong with this thing, but I'm hoping it's hydrolocked. So let's turn this on its side first and see what the blade looks like. He said his son went to use this, and I don't know what happened. He said it started pouring oil out of the muffler. So you can see I just did the same thing. I had the plug loose. I was going to put it on its tippy toes. The gap here is filled with oil, but now it's not. So I wanted to put down something first so I don't get oil all over my driveway. Let me look for a piece of cardboard, possibly, or a rag. I think I got a rag. I got something that'll work. So I'm going to turn this up. Yeah, oil's pouring out of there. So I kind of spun the blade when they was standing there, and I was able to slowly rotate. This blade is bent as well. So I don't know if they overfilled the crankcase or what, but some oil is pouring out. I hope the crankshaft isn't bent. I probably should have checked oil level. We may be dealing with an extra quart of oil. It's not terribly bad. There is oil in it. It's up to the high mark. Yeah, so we're okay here. I don't know if the kid was messing around with this and turned it upside down, but somehow the cylinder got filled with oil, hydrolocked. Okay, I'm going to put the plug back in. It doesn't sound the best. It may smoke. Of course it's going to smoke. Let me see if we can try firing this off. Okay, I'm going to remove this so it doesn't get pulled into the blade. There was just enough gas in it because I primed it when they were here to try to start it and see what it would do, and it did prime. Feels like the timing's off. It's kind of bucking. So this thing may have more issues. Probably shouldn't have been so generous with a $30 trade. I bet you the filter's saturated. It's a homemade filter. They've just taken some foam to cut it to fit, and it is got a bunch of oil in it. I think we can get it going. I just got to keep trying. So I don't know if that was fuel issue, if we got water in the bottom of this tank. I kind of looked when they showed up. It was better sunlight. I didn't see any water in the tank. So I just gave it some fresh fuel, prime it again. Smoky as all heck. Well, that turned out well, except for the smoke. I think I killed several hundred mosquitoes in a half a block area. So the deal with this thing is there's a spring here that's came off. So I got to reattach that. So once it did start, it sounded good. No knocking, no banging. The blade, I didn't feel a whole lot of vibration, so I'll probably take this off, clean the tank out, clean the carburetor, get rid of all this extra engine oil, reattach this spring. So the blade had an edge that I can sharpen, so I'll go ahead and do that. So for 30 bucks, I could still turn around and advertise this one for 100, 120 maybe. The 2011 yard machine, 5th month of 2011. So that's that. So we got one more trade in. I think you're gonna like that. Oh look, this yard machine spit out all that oil. So this is a 2005. I gave 40 for it. The 11 Alpha 546 November 711. So lady messaged me and she says, can you call my husband and talk to him? And I said, sure. And so he said the wife does the front yard and he does the backyard with the rider. He doesn't want, or she doesn't want him up in the front with the rider. She wants to do it. So this is her machine. She bought it new in 2005. So he was bragging about they never sharpen the blade. I thought, oh, that's kind of odd. That's kind of an old machine and nobody sharpened the blade. He kept bragging about it. I never even had to sharpen the blade. It would start every time. I says, what fuel are you using? He says, just regular fuel. And I told him about the non-ethanol, and he says, well, I've had no problems with it starting. I let it sit, and you can see he had it out in the barn somewhere. It's all moldy. I've never had an issue with using regular fuel. Always started. So I wasn't going to argue with him. He ended up taking a Troy-built self-propelled, which I had at 140, and I gave 40 for this, so he gave me 100 cash. He suggested 40 without me even saying anything. He says 40 for this, and I said sure, I'll take it for 40. So let me we're going to have to do oil on it eventually. A little overfilled, but let me show you the underside here. He was so proud that it had the original blade. You've seen them come through my driveway like this, just stubs. So this is a 2005, so this gives you an indication he never touched the blade. This is what kind of wear you can expect from a machine that hasn't been maintained. This is an original 2005 blade. So they weren't cutting anything at the end. They were just thrashing it. A little bit of oil weeping on the seal. Otherwise, the underside is not scaly, so maybe storing it in a barn seemed to help this thing. So let's look at the filter. This thing's going to need to be degreased. We got a little rat chewing here, here, and here. I should have brought out the rats. There's a little bit of fuel down there. I'm guessing it's the ethanol fuel finally caught up with him. Instead of him using non-ethanol, the ethanol fuel did him in. Let's get it up here on the concrete. I'm going to remove the air filter, bring you down a notch. Remove the air filter. I'm guessing he probably didn't change that since 2005. How much you want to make a bet? You guys send me an orange crush if I'm right. Okay, orange goodness. Let's get a flathead. So I think this will be a good seller once I rectify it. Clean up all the algae and mold on this thing. Put a blade on it. Nice Troy built high wheeler. Serviced. Or you can get service at Lowe's. Oh, it looks like the filter's an aftermarket filter. It's got a Briggs number, but I think it should have been blue. This isn't the original for sure. This has been changed. It's got the number there, but I can hardly read it. So we did change the air filter. So let's just pull on this thing without doing... Okay, I can see an issue right now. The choke is full open. This is the automatic choke system. You can see the choke here is open. So maybe some of that ethanol residue here open the choke. They should have sprung closed, and it's not. So we're kind of wasting our time. Oh, there we go. So the air vane just clicked and sprung shut. If you heard that noise, I put enough pressure on the wafer. So we got to remove the beauty ring here and the recoil and do some greasing of the air vane. So maybe it'll start now. Let's try it. So we was probably pulling on this thing with a full open choke, and it just wouldn't have anything to do with him. Okay, that worn out blade makes a difference as far as momentum. All that missing metal there on the tips really makes it pull over funky. You need that metal on the end there to give you that momentum. Okay, juiced it. Let's see if it stays running. So carburation, you heard it kick off. It burned up the little bit of nitro I squirted in there and then stalled out. So indication of dirty carburetor, bad fuel. So out of all of them, I think we're looking good. They just need some maintenance. So first thing tomorrow, I got a couple people coming out for customer repairs that I've done. Once I get them out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and tackle these three fine beauties. What I may do right now, since I've got some sunlight left, start degreasing this one, the '05 Troy built, and then the Yard Machine, the one with the oil all over the deck. The the newer style Troy built, the deck looks fairly nice. Okay. So we got the Lowe's 1-800 will do nothing for you sticker there if you want them to service it. And then we got this Troy built push mower. What's that say? Side discharge, mulch. Hey, this is like the scratch off lottery. Maybe I'll win something, but I don't think so. I'm going to win a headache. 21-inch side discharge mulch and bag. I asked him about the bag because I saw the trap door. He said no, no baggy. So there you have it. All rectifiable. I probably paid a little bit too much, but I tend to do that when I'm taking a trade in from customers, because I'm a little bit, I would say, overpriced, or I price them a little higher knowing that I'm going to get beat up, or it gives me room for trade-in value. Kind of like selling used cars at a used car dealership. Ask a little bit more. Anyway, thanks for coming out. Sorry to bore you for 27 minutes. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this, grab my grill cleaner, start cleaning this thing up, and the old Pulsa Yard Machine, clean that one up. The newer Yard Machine back there, it's already got shiny paint. I'll probably just hose that one off. It's not going to need a lot of attention. Appreciate you guys coming out. Please like and subscribe. I see that only 15% of the people watching subscribe. 85% of you are non-subscribers. I don't know why you wouldn't subscribe to my channel. If you could do that, that'd be great. And I'll throw some more videos at you. Again, tip your waitress and wait staff. Thanks for coming out. And you guys enjoy your own beverage in the comfort of your homes or garages, workshops, man caves, whatever you have, warehouses, storage units, anywhere where you work, and enjoy your favorite beverage. Have a good day today.